There's a phrase that you'll hear very often around our office, with our clients, or in our seminars. If success is important to you, make it a habit. See, I think the challenge with that phrase is that when a lot of people hear it, they think it's a cliche or a metaphor, and in reality, it's just that. See, if success is important to you, make it a habit, and you will see everything change. It troubles me how many people feel like success is for everyone else and not for them. And what you often hear is things like, oh, they do things I can't do, or they have ways of looking at the world I don't, or they have discipline that I just don't have. And I think the reality is, especially after hanging out and being around really successful people, they just have different habits. I've adopted many of them in my life, and I've seen dramatic changes. See, when we create habits versus discipline, the world changes. So often people want more discipline, but the challenge is that discipline and having to have that daily discipline means that every day you're working at doing something. When you create a habit, make it part of your life, it actually becomes part of your life and moves forward. Now, we've all heard the numbers. It takes 30, 60, 90 days to create a habit, but here's what I want you to understand. Is that in that early process where you are using some discipline, if you create a habit and stick to it every day to move forward, you will see things change, because daily work is much different than putting a habit in place and letting it really, truly become part of your routine. If we create habits out of those things that make us successful in whatever it is we want, we will see our lives change. Often with discipline, we also need accountability. It's hard to be disciplined, so we need to keep ourselves in check and know that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Once we have a habit, it's kind of like that old infomercial. We set it and forget it. If you put a habit into your life, whether it be working out, saving a certain percentage of your income, making sure you're reviewing your financial information in your business, or any other habit, blocking time for success, making the space so that you can do the things you need to do, you will see things move forward. Consistency over time will create a habit. That way you're not working as hard every day, you're going through a routine. See, if we're going to create routines, we might as well create routines that end up in success. Now, it takes some work, and so does discipline. However, once we stop thinking about discipline on a daily basis and start creating routines and habits that create success, we'll see things change. Today, I'm in pretty good shape. In fact, I'm in the top 1% of my age group, but things always weren't that way. When I was 30 years old, I was told by my doctor that I was one of the most prominent candidates in all of his patients for a stroke or a heart attack. I was about 280 pounds, significantly overweight, incredibly high blood pressure, and very high cholesterol. Kind of the trifecta of troubles coming. I remember when he told me that, I was living in South Florida, so I know that a lot of his patients were probably much older than I was, and here I was 30 and a candidate for a terrible outcome. Once the blood returned to my face and I started thinking again, I decided that I was going to change things. But it wasn't easy. I knew I wanted to correct this. In fact, I knew I had to correct this, and I also knew that it wasn't going to happen without habits. See, we're all very busy, and I'm incredibly busy, so I needed to create a habit, a routine that I would stick to. So I immediately started running every day. Then over time, I added weight training, and I also changed and modified my diet. Once those things were changed, I created even more habits and routine around them. When I travel, we make sure that the right foods are going to be in my destination, and those who help me book my travel even know to request special dietary needs. See, I made my physical success a habit, and I went from this, over 280 pounds just a decade ago, to this on my 41st birthday is exactly what I look like. Now here's what's interesting. Side by side, the results look dramatic. But you also have to understand there's a decade in between those. I didn't go out on a 90-day program and get in shape. I just don't know how to do that. What I did was I created habits that I applied consistently over years, and today, not only am I in the best shape of my life, my fitness is improving on a monthly basis. See, habits are forever. They become part of our lives, and they create a routine that moves us forward. We can do this with our health, with our finances, and even our business. Today, as you go throughout your day and you look at what you're doing, Think of the places where you proactively used discipline or made the decision to do something and ask yourself, one, is it important enough to do? And if it is, maybe you should make it a habit. Thanks for being here this week. And one last thing, I'd like to encourage you to take on a new weekly habit. Subscribe to our blog. You'll get this information each week where we help you move your life and your business forward. And we know that when you build a business around who you are, it will give to you indefinitely.